Hello, it's Lauren from the Napa County Seed Library. I thought I'd come on for a little bit and show you just what's great to plant right now in June in Zone 9B. So all these seeds I have here are things that you can plant right now, and we've had some really nice wet weather over the weekend, so the soil is nice and moist and workable for you to put some seeds into your garden beds. If you're like me, you might have harvested some things like garlic, lettuce, peas, carrots, radishes that were growing during the spring, and now you're ready for something to replace those empty spaces in your beds. I'll show you just what's good to plant right now from seed. First off, beans. A broad variety of beans and peas actually are good to plant right now. These beans and the peas that like some hot weather are going to really be well suited to the warmer temperatures that we have now and coming right on into the summer. I really am excited about the locally saved seed that we got, a cranberry bush bean type, from a seed saver who donated them during our seed swap in January. Kitty's loving to get into it. We also have some wonderful eggplant that you can plant right now. These two love warm weather, and if you haven't already gotten some into the ground, it's not too late to plant from seed. We got some white eggplant donated by Nicolette, and also some Korosu eggplant donated by an unknown seed saver. Again, the locally adapted seed is great because it's thriving locally where we live, so you're going to have some really good success planting those types of seed. Of course, these seed varieties that we got donated are great to try. They're probably going to come up for you, but the locally adapted seed is really what we were pushing for. It looks like the kitty wants some eggplant. So as far as the greens go, Amaranth is great to plant right now. You may not know that all parts of the amaranth are edible. The leaves hold some really wonderful minerals and vitamins, and especially some protein. So if you haven't tried amaranth leaves, do it. It's great in stir fries, in soups, cut up in a salad. You could even try and make it as a pesto. I haven't done that before, but I've had it in soups and it's wonderful. If you want to grow out the showy flowers, they're also great as an ornamental. And of course, if you continue, you're going to be able to save the seed. This is a favorite right now, I think, amongst kids. If you have some children that are eager and ready to get outside because school is out, have them plant some pumpkins or gourds. So gourds are wonderful because they grow fast in the heat. They have some wonderful shapes and colors, and especially some wonderful uses that go beyond eating. Some are edible, but some, when dried out, make beautiful baskets or dipping vessels or birdhouses. We especially have this special seed that was donated by a friend who got this gourd whose seeds were descendants from Vandana Shiva seed bank in India. So this is wonderful. It's a second generation seed that's been locally adapted to our area. Watermelon, any kind of melon, is great to plant right now. Those crunch-on melons, honeydews, cassava, Charente melons, moon and stars are one of my favorites I've grown, and so has my friend Debbie down the street who donated some seeds. So melons, also a summertime favorite, are great to plant from seed right now. Okra is wonderful. You may be the type who was like, okra, I don't know, it's kind of got this slimy feel. It is highly nutritious, and that slimy mucilage is so good for your joints and bones. Just think about chia seeds and how they have that mucilage in them. That's the same thing with okra, and it's doing wonders for you. You can eat these in soups, you can stir fries, same kind of thing as the spinach, the amaranth, and we've got some locally saved seed here too. I saved some, and so did Jennifer Barker. Okra is also great as a cover crop, and I'll talk to you about some other cover crops that are good for planting right now. We made it to the flowers, so yeah, let's get into that. Sunflowers are great to plant right now. Any kind of sunflower, whether it's a single head like a Russian mammoth or a Titan, or a branching sunflower like this Hopi dye that I saved from last year. Sunflowers are cheery, they're bright, they give everybody a spiritual lift or an emotional lift. And some of them, like this Hopi dye, can be saved and used as dye later on. It has a wonderful purple color. Another type of sunflower is called Tithonia, or a Mexican sunflower, and it gets bushy and it's got smaller but equally radiant orange blossoms. It's great for pollinators, as the regular sunflowers are, and attracts bees all over the garden. This is flax. Flax as a flower is beautiful. It gets very tall. It has some lilac to purple blooms in it, and also it's great as a cover crop. It's putting some nutrients into the soil and kind of covering spaces where you might have harvested before or already laying bare. So flax is a good flower to grow, just as an ornamental but also as a cover crop. That last flower to plant right now, which is great, are Nasturtium. Nasturtium has so many beneficial uses. They will draw pests away from your plants that you don't want pests on. They serve as a nice little shelter for snails and slugs, and they don't mind eating that nasturtium, so you can let them have at it. But they're so abundant that they produce flowers, leaves, and seeds that are edible. Most people know that the flowers are edible. They're so beautiful and showy, but you can decorate your salads with those and eat them, put them on a pretty cake as a topper. And also, if you gather the seeds as a young, immature green seed, you can pickle those. I have not done it yet, but there are recipes out there. Anyhow, make sure you save some seeds like my neighbor Genevieve did. I think I covered all the flowers. And so stepping back into that topic of cover crop, you know, school is winding down right now. If you have kids in school, they're all kind of bustling and getting ready for summer. We're all itching to get out there and do some things outside with other folks in other places, just to explore or relax in our own backyard. So why not plant some cover crop? Cover crop is going to allow you to just cover those bare spaces in your pots, in your gardens, in your fields, and then give back to that soil the rich nutrients that was drawn out from the plants that were there, or is still needing to be there because there was nothing in that space. So buckwheat is a great summer cover crop to plant right now. We have that plentiful, but also some of the flowers I mentioned and also the vegetables I mentioned are great cover crops. Okra, for one, is a great cover crop. Sunflower, as I mentioned, and the flax are great cover crops. You can also use cowpeas or chickpeas, and I planted cowpeas last year. They're delicious, and I'm going to plant some as cover crop this year. Cover crop adds lots of nutrients to the soil, like nitrogen and phosphorus. Anytime we put more plants on top of our soil, we're retaining water in that soil, and we're adding green manure, which is basically the green leafy parts of the plant that will get cut down before full flowering happens to add more nutrients into the soil. So, you know, it's hands-free in the summer if you go ahead and transition to cover crop now. Well, I hope you like this information about what to plant in June from seed right now in Zone 9B. It was really helpful for me to learn all the different ways that I could use cover crop in summer. This is going to be my first time doing that. And all the different plants that I normally would plant that also serve as a good cover crop. So I'll list all the plants that I mentioned below in the description box, and please share this video, like it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are more information like this to come in the future. Bye for now.